Egan Bernal goes on the move. Roglic takes the first red jersey. Brian Tarame wins the stage. 2 wins in the Vuelta for Jasper Philipsen. Oh, big crash of Valverde. Jakobsen takes his second stage win. Michael Storer, 2 wins in La Vuelta. It's Magnus Cort wins another stage of La Vuelta. It's a victory for De Koning Quick-Step. The win was Florian Seneschal. At the top of Pico Vallecas, the race winner is Roman Bardet. Rafael Majka solo, he wins in El Barraco. Here goes the sprint. Jakobsen going, light the candles, he wins on his birthday.
On to stage 17 of La Vuelta 21, part 1 of a mountain doubleheader which could well decide the outcome of the race. 185k today from Unquera to Lagos de Covadonga with 3 big climbs. It's going to be a tough day for the race leader Odd Christian Eiking, while others will be eyeing up a prestigious stage victory.
It'll really depend on what happens with the breakaway today. Like Intermarché obviously will want to keep the jersey as long as possible, keep their riders as far up in the GC as possible. I don't think they're gonna try and sacrifice the jersey today. So if there's someone within 9-10 minutes, I think they're not gonna let it go, which could entice the GC group to pace. So it'll be a hit and miss today. But yeah, definitely looking forward to seeing what happens.
It's hard to say before. I think there will be a big fight for the break, but it could also be a GC day. So there are also quite a lot of valley in between the climbs. So, but still, the last climb is still super hard. That you really need a big gap to win on top.
Guillaume Martin is second overall, but could well be feeling the ill effects of a crash yesterday.
I'm quite pessimistic to be honest, but I will give everything, and I will see anyway. That's done. It's a pity, that's for sure, but it's cycling also, and right now I just think about reaching the finish in the best shape possible, and without losing too much time.
Well, the peloton powered through the early part of the race, covering over 50 kilometres in the first hour. But in spite of a raft of attacks, nobody managed to open up a significant gap at the front. The bunch were all strung out as they reached the first climb, the Category 3 Alto de Hortiguero. The top 2 in the mountains classification, Roman Bardet and Damiano Caruso, battling for the King of the Mountains points.
And here he goes, ready to strike. Roman Bardet being challenged by Damiano Caruso. But at the top, it is Caruso with Bardet. So Caruso steals a few points back.
A breakaway finally formed as they tackled La Collada Llumenà for the first time. 30 riders opening up a small gap. Sergio Henao, Jan Tratnik and Dylan van Baarle all up there, along with Angel Madrazo, Mikel Nieve and Jay Vine. David de la Cruz then set off in pursuit from the peloton, and he was lying 14th on GC, just 7 minutes off the pace, so they didn't want to let him go too far. Ineos Grenadiers leading the chase at the front of the pack with Pavel Sivakov. Egan Bernal on his wheel in the white jersey. Well, Mikel Landa also attacked and bridged across to the front group, which was really splintering towards the summit. Race leader Eiking, meanwhile, was starting to struggle. The Norwegian's teammates were up the road looking after Louis Mainkeys, so it looked like this 7th day in red would also be his last. The remaining escapees cresting the climb with just under a minute in hand. Michael Storer taking the points to help protect the KOM jersey of his teammate Bardet. The peloton then eased off a little on the descent, and that allowed Eiking to get back on terms. At the same time, the breakaway slightly increased their advantage. And it was then the Frenchman Olivier Legac who pushed on solo. The Groupama FDJ man leading a group of 24 chasers to the base of La Collada Llumenà. And this time the riders would have to deal with the rain as well. Le Gac starting the ascent with a small gap, but the rest of the breakaway was soon swept up by the peloton, which was being driven by Jumbo-Visma and Ineos Grenadiers. Le Gac himself caught 6k from the summit before Eiking started going backwards again. Bernal, the first of the GC favourites, to light things up.
Egan Bernal goes on the move.
Bernal and Primož Roglič streaking away as the other big guns scrambled to organise the chase. They had 45 seconds at the summit, and it was now the matter of surviving this treacherous descent.
Oh, the red jersey has crashed. Odd Christian Eiking and a number of other riders are down.
A heavy crash here for Alexander Vlasov, ending his hopes of a top 10 finish. To his credit, the Russian soldiered on, finishing 35 minutes down. Bernal and Roglič still working well together on the descent in spite of a brief scare for the Colombian. They had over 2 minutes with 25k to go. And so onto the iconic Lagos de Covadonga, with Roglič and Bernal set to battle it out for stage honours. But the pace was proving too much for the man second on GC, Guillaume Martin.
Oh, Primož Roglič. And we saw the shoulders rocking on Egan Bernal, and Roglič is starting to put the hurt on. He is starting to accelerate.
Roglič surging away to his third win of this Vuelta. He wouldn't be caught, but the other GC contenders did get back to Bernal. Yates, Kuss, Lopez, Mas, Haig and Marder part of this select group, and they would all come in together behind a red-hot Roglič.
Primož Roglič has been majestic on the roads today. He has done everything right. Primož Roglič wins the stage. He shouts with delight. He's going to be in the red jersey. He takes his 8th stage win in La Vuelta.
Once again, Roglič was simply too strong for the rest, storming to another brilliant victory. The man in red, after the last 3 climbs of Covadonga, has gone on to win La Vuelta. Alberto Contador, Nairo Quintana and Simon Yates. So things are looking good for Roglič.
I just didn't decide it. I just tried to ride then up the climb as fast as possible. At that point, Egan didn't follow anymore. So yeah, I just went then alone. Real queen stage coming. So we'll see if we'll be enough then after tomorrow.
Roglič is up to 8 Vuelta stage wins now in 3 participations. Sepp Kuss led in the other favourites at 1 minute and 35 to make it a 1-2 for Jumbo-Visma. Martin almost 5 minutes back, with Eiking losing 9 minutes 23. Roglič goes back into red ahead of Mas and Lopez. Haig is now 4th, with Martin holding on to 5th place and Bernal in 6th. Eiking slips to 11th, just ahead of his teammate Meintjes. Fabio Jakobsen still holds the green jersey by over 100 points. Roglič up to 2nd ahead of Matteo Trentin. Barda has a 17-point lead in the King of the Mountains competition ahead of his teammate Stora, but there are still plenty of points up for grabs tomorrow. Bernal lost a big rival for white today when Vlasov crashed. He now leads Marder by 2.5 minutes. There's another killer stage on the menu on Thursday. After 2 Category 1 climbs, the riders will test themselves against the fearsome Alto del Gamoniteru. That's a brutal climb of 14.6k at 9.8% that makes its Vuelta debut this year. It promises fireworks, so do join us tomorrow, and thanks very much for watching.